just bringing you, it's not an update, really. Well, I guess it'll be updatey stuff in it, but as you watch this video, it is October 11th, which marks 8 years since my mother passed away. I thought, like, I was laid in bed, like, it is, well, when you watch it, it is the 11th. It is the 5th in reality, but I was thinking about it a lot tonight when I'm up. And I thought I would also give you guys, like, an update, stuff in general while I'm talking about it. I just want to be real with you guys. Not that I'm never real. Trust me, sometimes I'm a bit too real. Again, sorry if it looks like I'm cut off a little bit. I'm trying not to, but I'm not trying to make this a perfect video. I'm being as open as I can. I mean, if I ever do tell a story in this video, I might use names for some people, just for privacy's sake, but I am pretty much putting it out there when I can. Despite what it seems, it's hard. Like, sometimes I don't think about it or her much at all. Then there's times where I lay in bed and I just think, did I do this right? Like, did she know how much I did appreciate her? Was I always a spoiled brat? Like, a lot of things. Like, let's just put it this way. I may have thought it ended so well that, like, the night, well, no, I mean, I wish I had more time with her, but she even knew she wouldn't have had much longer if she had lived, longer. She didn't think she'd make it to my graduation, so she was right, but she made it to a day after I turned 18, because this time of year now is a bittersweet time of the year for me. It's Thanksgiving. I think it's always in October, but it is this year's Thanksgiving. It's my birthday, but yet it's not long after it's the day my mother died. I don't know. I mean, it's funny. I know people pray. I know there's people who are religious. I'm not that type of person personally, but for those who have that strong faith, all to you. But sometimes I wonder, though, was it God who said, it's almost her time, but let her see her daughter turn 18? Or what? Like, I don't know. But anyway, I was rambling on, but this video wasn't supposed to be, like, perfect anyway. I thought I ended off pretty well with her, because we didn't argue. Like, and I'm saying it here, folks. At the time, I always would think it was my mom was no fair, like all of us teenagers did. But whenever we argued, it was on me. Like, and maybe not always. I mean, everyone sometimes has their bad days. It will admit to it, but a majority of the time, I could be. I mean, maybe I am putting myself out there too much. No, maybe I am criticizing myself too much. Maybe that's just my view on things, right? And someone might say, oh no, she was not feeling good, and she could be not stubborn, you know what I mean, for example. But I feel 90% of the time, I was a little brat. No, I'm not saying I was like that every day. But when I say 90% of the time, I mean if we have arguments, 90% of the time it was on me. I mean, we didn't argue every day, but we argued a decent amount, I would say. So I thought we ended it pretty well. But the last thing I remember, the sad thing is I don't even remember what game it was. I remember there was a game. I didn't know. I said, it's that bad I didn't even remember the game. So imagine how I feel now. But at the time, I really wanted this game, and I said to my mother, I'll pay you back, I promise. I never got to. One of the last things, I mean, I suppose I did say I loved her before I went to bed, like I always did, but one of the last conversations I had with my mother is, I will pay you back for a game that I wanted at that point. Now, just like some people would say, a game is nothing, your family is everything. Or an object is nothing, your family is everything. And that is true in all cases. But I don't even remember what the game was that I wanted so darn much. Like, that was the main thing I was thinking about tonight. I was just thinking, like, one of the last serious conversations I had with my mother was about a game. I figured she got it for me, right? We didn't argue, she got it for me. That's why I thought we ended well. Like, we didn't argue about it. I told her I'd pay her back, I'd give her back the money, which I never got a chance to, because the next day she was gone. Like that. And sometimes I wonder why, like, this feeling, this reminiscence does not come back other times when I would really need that type of jab. Like, even now there's things I want, yet I don't ever get that little jabbing feeling. Last time I said I'd pay back, or I really want something happened. Okay, I know that's all was going to happen. Like, yeah, just my mom was already sick, and it just happened to be her time, right? It wasn't what I said, it wasn't the last thing I said, it wasn't what I did, but, you know, when people ask you if you could go back and you knew this was your last time with someone, what would you talk about, right? And there were so many things that I wish I could have said to her. I mean, there really was nothing negative. I would have said sorry for being a spoiled brat, for causing her grief. I know a lot of people will say, oh, I was a brat, or I caused my parents grief, or whatever. And I'm not saying I was that 24/7. But, like, as I said, my mother, I don't know if I told you, had type 2 diabetes. And she was already very sick. I mean, arguing like that is hard for a normal parent without health issues with their kid. So even if it wasn't every day, my arguing probably put her down more. Like, there's a lot of things I could say about my mother, which were not necessarily all bad. I said she was stubborn, which is probably where I got it from, or quarter where I got it from. I am myself. Like, one thing that was good, both positive and negative, was she pushed me toward, she knew I could do things, right? She pushed me towards do my best, which was positive, because that is something that should be done. Like, she knew I had my limitations, but for the most part, she said she knew I could do things. There were some instances when I was smaller that she was a little more protective, but when I was older, she pushed me to do my best, which was good in the way that she didn't limit me because I had special needs. But also, at the same time, she didn't want to see things after something has been proven. Like, for example, now this hasn't been confirmed, so it could all be right, what the psychiatrist who saw me when I was a kid said. But when I was 7, I was suspected that I might be on the spectrum, or I might have autism. That or Williams syndrome. I was taken, evaluated, labeled as none, or scratched off as none for either. So my mother never looked further into it. I have scoliosis. My mother, people kept saying to my mother something was off about my back. But she already knew I had my problems with my leg, and I was what they call globally developmental delayed. So she didn't want to see anything else. Like, she couldn't handle anything else. And as I said, the whole autism thing is debatable, even now. But even if someone had seen something else wrong, I don't know if she would have looked any further. She would have taken what that psychologist or child psychologist said. She does not have it. She's globally developmentally delayed. She probably would have just went at that. But, like, that was still good. Because she wanted me to do the best I could. Like, there was a time when I was in the 9th grade where, at that time, I still find it debatable whether she was right or wrong, but besides the point, I was doing my work, but I haven't handed it in to my resource teacher at the time. At that time, I was on an IPP, or I think it's an IEP in the US, and none of my work was getting handed in. I, at that time, and this was not an excuse, that was really the way my mind was thinking, it was how it worked. I, at the time, thought I had to hand it in when it was all done. I worked, I didn't just sit there, I didn't do anything, I worked every day. But I was getting low marks and if it was being handed in. My mother was arguing with my teacher because he said, well, I was just distracted because everyone else was doing something. Like, he didn't really find any issue in it, right? But my mother was arguing about it. And at that time, I was defending myself, like, I mean, hindsight, maybe I should have, if I was unsure, maybe I should have asked how it worked. Because I was not doing nothing, right? Because I really was doing something. But she was thinking I wasn't doing my best. So she was trying to fight for that. And also, like, I mean, there were times where it would have been nice if I had to say, like, when I was removed from my IPP, it would have been nice if I had been known just a tad before. Because my mother was all for it. She thought I could do it. But I mean, and I did. As I said, like, there are positive things that she did in hindsight that would be beneficial for the most part. Like, every year we went to an exhibition in Truro, which is a town in the country where I live. Or was it, no, it was Truro. And I gotta tell you, before I went, each year I did not want to go. I hated the idea, but it was a way to get me out socially. I always went with a friend, and it was a way for me to get out socially, but every year, just like I talked about in many other areas, I did not want to go. And I think even to this day, I'd still struggle with that. And pardon me, though, but I do have a cold. So, but yeah, I said I was going through a lot of that, thinking of the things she did for me. Like, as I said, like, I do thank her. And sometimes I'm like, well, why wasn't she a little easier on me? Why didn't she get to know me well enough sometimes? But I'm not easy to get to know. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, I will talk to people, right? But I am off to myself. But I mean, I'm sure if she took a little bit of, like, she talked to me, she asked me, like, I'm trying to think. She was like any other parent in some ways. They ask how your day at school is, did blah blah, fine, good. But, and I said, this isn't really a fault of hers, because I said, a lot of parents, especially these days, are like that, or older parents are like that. Not these days, but she wouldn't always, like, I don't think she would always take time just to do something with me that I enjoyed. Like, even if she took a few minutes to understand it. Like, she knew what I liked. Like, she did. But anything we did was more of a thing everyone else would enjoy. But, I said, trust me, this may sound like I'm ranting on her right now. I'm not. I said really good things, and I had plenty of good things to say. But I talked about her in general, like getting myself out there. But, as I said, like, sometimes I wish that we both just said I'm right out of it too, because I'm sick. My main point is, I was thinking about, like, the last conversation we really had. And guys, especially those still in school, young or teenagers, those that go on to your parents and say they do not understand, that they wish they were dead, or I hate you. Unless your parent is physically or mentally or sexually or neglectfully abusing you, you have no right to say that. They are doing the best you can. But you know what? That just doesn't apply to parents either. Grandparents, aunts or uncles, cousins if they're a lot older than you, anyone who's taken the time to take care of you and who is legitimately trying to be there. Don't be an a-hole. Like, there are so many people out there that are far worse off, that legitimately have problems. Heck, I don't care if your parent used to have a problem with drugs, alcohol, whatever. As long as now, in the time frame, they're good to you and they're trying to make things up to you, and they've been proven that they can be a capable parent to you, treat them well. Like, okay, the only way, even then, I can understand that being an issue is if they used to be abusive to you, if you don't trust them for that reason. But if all they had was just a little bit of a problem, just leave it be. Like, I'm sorry, I guess I get emotional like that at times. But anyway, guys, I am going to go on just a little bit longer, guys. This part is going to be more of an update part of this video. I will maybe put a time frame in the video of when to go for the actual update. I'll have to look and check. As you know, my videos have been on and off. I've been going through a mini burnout. A lot of YouTubers go through it. That is completely normal. I can't say 100% when I'm going to be back full time, but I have been getting videos out. I have been editing videos. Let's Plays are going to be slower, for sure. I am more in the, as I said, I'm in a burnout phase, and I'm more want to get videos that I feel really passionate about. And that way, there are better videos for you guys. I had a video that was uploaded on today. Actually, it's going to be uploaded today, the day I'm recording it, the 5th. And it's about things I want to come to The Sims 4 before it ends. And I was thinking on that topic for a long time, and I wanted just to bring my 2 cents to you guys in that. Let's Play, I'm still about 1 cent is going to be finished, don't worry. I gotta get right back into doing that. I've been in a burnout of recording, but I've been playing a lot of games. Like, I've been playing through, I played through Blue, Heart Gold, Platinum. I am in the midst of Black, but I'm taking a break from that, and I'm now playing Gold. I'm also sort of doing 2 wedlocks between Pokemon X and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. This is not for the channel. This is just for myself. So I've been playing a lot of games. Just to myself to get me into that mood for I'm able to play those games. Now, what else? I've been sort of getting back into work. Although I've been sick, as you see, so I'm not going in tomorrow, or today, as I say it. I went out to my family's for a gathering on last Saturday. Not this one coming up last Saturday. So I'm getting a bit more social. Like back and forth between, as I said, like a lot of the serious recording, like I'm shocked I'm doing this, but I just wanted to get it out of my head. But a lot of the serious stuff is I'm not going to record right now because of how I'm feeling. Obviously, that's understandable, but I am going to try to get my ideas in check. I have to record other gamer pickups I did, because I got quite a few new games, I think. Because I know there's some at the top of my head that I did not record. So, I have to remember what games I got that I did not record, and write them down for I have a good list. I think I'll be able to get a couple video gamer pickups out of it for you guys. I'm hopefully going to get a Halloween special out. I gotta remember to edit it and do it, because I recorded the audio for it, the review, and it's not a cartoon review. I don't know if you're going to get one for October, but you are getting a Halloween special, which is it's another show. But it's not a cartoon. Yeah, again, sorry. So there's not very much else I could really think of, as that I've been playing games. I did edit the video, as I said, that it's going to be up today. Well, not today. The day I'm recording this, which is the 5th. I had a bit of a burnout, but I've been playing a lot of games. What else? Well, my aunt that I talked about in the vlog, I don't know if I've uploaded this, is alright. Not much else. I mean, I've been cuddling a lot more with my cat. She's been going in with me a lot lately into my bedroom. So, it's all pretty good there. As I said, like, respect your family unless they're legitimately giving you a reason not to. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, or I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving, and I'll see you guys in my next video.